See you very, very soon.
Good night, everyone.
meters, yes.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Set 1, set 2, set 3. Record Alpha, record Bravo. Check. Good evening, guys. Got
Good evening, 8 to 12.
hello.
Hello, hello.
So we have we're full wide on Argus and a slight push past Mongo on Herc.
Roger.
We'll call for another move. Keep moving.
All right.
Bridge, this is nav. Can we have another move? 15 meters, 240, please.
What's the
Can you hear
big
me?
plan here? What are we doing?
All right, ready?
So
You hear me, Bob?
Up, yes. So we go to the C2,
Okay.
touring around, then we'll go to the C3 again.
Those
So
are 10-meter contours?
it should be yes.
Okay.
But I would never trust the contour since
Well, whose maps are those anyway?
I'm not sure.
So,
Yes.
big picture plan, I guess. Oh, here comes Mike
I'm
to
zooming out.
tell you something.
So
Yeah, something's wrong with it.
The slurp pump you're going to take apart? Or the...
Bridge, this is nav.
What are you taking apart?
Can we do another move, please?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, there should be a spare pump in the box. Up top. Yeah. There really isn't that much to the pump. like it doesn't have like seals and things like that. So, I mean, it's yeah. I mean the hydraulic part of it, I suppose, could. But that's, we were taking those apart all the time, and it, you know, that wasn't the problem. So, yeah. No, I did notice that. Yeah. It would be best to take the hoses off and look.
Okay, now we're back. All right, so big picture plan here.
Yeah.
We're gonna climb up this hill
Yeah.
to the top of the inner cone. Looking around as we go, we expect we'll come out of this sort of CO2 acidic dead zone and start seeing fauna. And then we have a list back here of things to sample that people are keen on of those animals.
Okay.
And I think a goal for our dive is to get pretty close to the top of the hill.
Okay.
And then the next watch will go from the top of the hill to the vent site that's over on the east rim.
To the east or to the west?
If you zoom out one more click, you'll probably see it. East geopic plume thing.
This one?
Yeah, so we're not going to get over there. So we're just going to get to the top of the hill.
Okay.
And try and bang out some stuff, and then they can try and shuffle between midnight and 4 over there. So mostly our goal is sort of bio stuff, if we can see it on this list that we have back here in this fauna guide. Okay. And then a rock or two more, if we can find them. The rocks we want to look for would be from like a dike feature, some kind of a blocky, bricky looking rock. Not like this. This is all pillows.
Yep.
Something that looks different, much more angular and squarish.
Yep.
Because that would be denser.
Okay.
But if we do go just a little ways and we do happen to come across a grabbable piece of a pillow or something, we could try again. We just picked one up, so we can go a little bit before we pick another one up.
Okay.
That's basically the deal.
Sounds good plan.
So we just kind of want to look at our progress. So how far is it in maybe less than a kilometer? 500 meters between here and C345 cluster?
Yes. It's almost 800 meters.
800, okay. So we got to make some decent progress, but not go breakneck speed.
Okay.
Bob, was it you who was describing a time at sea where the pillows were making it to the surface before they fell down during an eruption?
No.
No. Well, we've been down when we were down at Pantelleria off of Sicily. Yeah. That was a eruption that had what's called scoria blobs. So it's basically a pillow that's so gaseous. You get a shallow eruption. Yeah. The gas is expanding so rapidly that it forms a pillow that's full of vesticulated, full of air spaces. And it goes up to the surface. And it'll actually go to the surface and then float around like a floating, steaming rock. Wow. And then it'll eventually air floods, quenches, and sinks back down. So all around the volcano on just flat sediment seafloor, you'll see a big rock. You're like, how the heck did this get here? Right. Because it drifted there and floated and drifted there. And then those eruptions have only been seen a few times. So in the Mediterranean, people have seen them. There's records of people seeing them back from sailing ship days, thinking it was a school of whales, whale blows, because you see all the rocks steaming from a distance. And then the eruption that was, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 years ago off of the Canary Islands, there was, that happened, and it was in the news and CNN or whatever, there was pictures of people with fishermen with nets picking up the rocks.
Bridge, this is now.
Hauling them on their deck. Wow. And looking at them and then but if you be careful because it could melt a hole through your deck. Yeah.
Can we have another move, please?
So the crust on these pillows is really thin.
Yeah. Some of them have been like this. Yeah, they kind of froze and then squirted out. They're like a melted Snickers bar. Yeah. We'll have to do some research on that. So, yeah, the Snickers.
Melted Snicker bars?
Yeah. Yeah, it's when the Snicker
You have the research material for those?
Well, I mean, the way Maddie's gone at this.
peanut butter covered apple or whatever it is. I nominate her. She volunteers as tribute.
I will gladly take that role for everyone.
Okay, thanks for stepping up for the team. I see we have the Argus pilot, formerly known as Alyssa, with us tonight, now known as Maverick. For her Mach 3 ascent.
Florida impact. Week 3.
Alyssa gave me a tour of the ROV hangar and the workshop and everything today.
Cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. She
Yeah.
was the grand tour guide for the Instagram takeover.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I still got to say, though, wait, were they both on at the same time? No, it was Sarah and Jessica, two of the video interns earlier, did like a Women's Day in Science
Oh, that's so
Instagram
cool.
takeover, and they did
Heck
a
yeah.
great job of that. I was so proud.
Good for them. That is awesome. So we are currently at Vailulu Seamount. I don't know. It took us, what, about 8 hours to get here from Tutuila?
Yeah. Something
Yeah.
like
Bridge, this is Nav. Can
Do we know what the
confirm another move,
miles,
please?
nautical miles are on that?
It's about
Uh,
90 miles.
Yeah,
90
times
miles?
10.
95, 90 miles. You know?
95 miles away, so made some good headway and are now diving where we had hoped to get around here last week, but some weather delays pushed us back. But I'm super excited that we're here now. This is amazing to see. Once again, the lounge was filled.
Big image.
Wow.
Cool. Big pillow there.
Yeah.
Toothpaste tube.
Are these all? This is all lava that we're seeing, or
Yeah.
former?
It's actually toothpaste.
Oh. Of course
This is where they mine it. Are we zoomed all the way out? Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, he's getting, we zoomed a little bit in. I think
okay.
just past the arms and
Oh,
whatnot.
okay. Yeah.
So me to pull out?
No, I'm just
You
curious.
could pull out a little bit, see.
Yeah, maybe 'cause I kept thinking, look, I was having trouble matching the Herc and the Argus view. It seemed like we were closer in Herc than we should be.
You can zoom back
based on
in.
Argus.
We're in our normal mode.
Looking down. Oh, look at Mitten.
See that broken pillow right there, right in the middle,
Yep.
right? Does that look loose?
The one
The
down,
way-
right,
yeah, right there.
down in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Looks like it broke right off of the, right above it. You want that?
Yeah, let's see if we can pick up
We're
that.
kind of behind the times here, but I
You think so? Yeah, I don't know. Quickly.
can
It might not.
try.
Just give it a
Oh.
go. It might not
Can
go
we
at all.
switch those relays?
You know, it might not move at all. We'll see.
The ship
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
stopped, so
But it may have broke off that one above it. And
Relays are
Yeah,
off.
it looks like it did.
yeah, that's why.
Kind of trying to
negative,
match the puzzle
Bridge,
pieces
negative.
there.
Yeah,
Almost
exactly.
there.
Like-
Just hold position, please.
Super glue.
Thank you.
You want me to super glue it back on?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you might wanna, you can hold up the ship there if you have to, Suleiman.
Yes, already holding.
Oh, there you go. Whoa.
Wow.
We slipped off the ledge there, I guess.
We just pulled us down.
Ew.
All right, so we're hanging. Ah, come on.
Did it bust in half?
I don't know.
Or is it? I can't tell.
Can you zoom in some, Ed?
Yeah, gonna need a bump.
Okay.
Still wish I had control for that over here.
Yeah. It's kind of hiding in there.
You got it.
Yeah, I think it broke in two, and the other piece is falling down on top of it, behind it.
All right.
Either one's fine.
Well, that's a Williams grip right there. Oh, you're gonna get a better grip. That's no fun.
A Williams grip?
Well, we used to call it a Jason grip, but then people started thinking we were talking about the ROV. So I use his last name.
You going starboard or are you going forward?
Start forward's
Start.
full.
Is that what
Looks
you're
like
looking for?
that's a nice looking rock, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that guy.
Put that on your
Petrified
coffee
log.
table.
Yeah, that'd be nice if it didn't smell like sulfur.
Yeah, chuck that somewhere.
Yeah, where do we want it?
Starboard F.
Starboard Foxtrot.
The foxtrot. Quick, quick, slow, slow.
Can you see if you can find me down there?
You think it'll go in a small one?
I think so.
Or is it too big for a small one? I would put it in a small one if we can.
Which one?
F, D.
Would fit in there?
Looks kind of big.
No, it's
There
too
we go.
big.
All right,
too big.
so in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So that's 4 rocks, 2 crusts, I think. 2 probably sulfite crusts, 2 official rocks. So we're still looking for a chunky brick looking rock at some point, but
You want bubble over there while you come around?
Yeah.
okay.
This is where I got bit last time.
Yeah, Alyssa, can you swing bubble over to show the arm?
I got it.
No, he's got it already. He's already around.
That last time I brought it around
You hung
too
up
far.
on the light bar.
Yeah, I brought it
Yeah.
around too far and too high and got stuck up in a light bar.
All good.
All right, moving on.
We're right above you.
Suna, did you ever find out what sort of worm Warren the worm was?
The
I
volunteer worm?
did not know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we're not sure yet.
Are we taking all this stuff back to Honolulu and shipping it from there sooner?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start moving. Bridge, this
So,
is Nav.
What's the oxygen doing?
You kill that ground. Oh, let me just turn these off.
Can we move 15 meters on bearing 235? Please?
145.
Oh, so it's quite a bit. So we picked up.
The ground fault's worse now.
Is it?
Yeah,
Where's it coming from?
Craft. Our old friend.
Yeah.
Back again. So, at the bottom of the trench, oxygen was 110. There was much more iron around, and now it's 140. So we've picked up. It's an indicator we're getting out of that water that's stuck down there. Oh, look, here's a whole yard sale of rocks.
Yeah. Wow, so this is quite different than that earlier terrain with all of the, were those microbial mats that were covering the
Yeah,
rocks?
so
Yeah.
sulfur and iron based bacteria.
Very interesting. Have we or other exploration vessels dove in similar seamounts like Wailulu in other places around the world?
Dove on this one.
Okeanos did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We spent 2 years at Kikum-Jenny,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is a volcano off the, let's say northwest, northwestish side of Grenada. It's very similar to this.
Is it? And then what did you see once you reached the top, or that sort of,
Water. 'Cause
Just
it's
water?
It's underwater.
yeah.
But it's similar to this. It's sort of a cone. You know,
Mhm.
it's a swimming pool inside. So you get down to the bottom, and it's all flocky and orangey, and there's some white bacteria and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, Luihi looks like that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's right.
There's a 1,000-foot tall volcano off of Oregon that's fully
Bridge,
instrumented
this is Nav.
and
Can
on
we
the
call for
American
another
Cabled
step,
Ocean
please?
Observatory.
Really? So then the kind of life that we see here tends to be microbial in nature, right? We don't have a lot of...
Well, here we don't, because
Well,
this is... Actually, we should... How many Niskins do we have? We took 2 already, eh?
We took 3.
3, okay. Okay, let's hold off on the Niskin then.
You thinking about Niskins for EDNA?
No, for the water chemist, like, they want to do... No one's going to do alkalinity or anything with this
No.
stuff, so okay. So then we'll wait to the top here. We'll do a Niskin if we see some stuff. And then if they transit on the next watch over to the other vent site, they'll have 2 Niskins to deal with over there if they want to take them. There's a second potential vent site on the east rim, and so we're going to try and get to the top of the hill. If they can get there on their next watch, they'll have 2 Niskins they can deal with.
Okay.
So we don't want to shoot them all too soon, right? So
Did we fire any for other purposes than EDNA?
we fired them down there inside of all the schmutz and the bacteria. So
EDNA.
yeah, so yeah, well,
but-
that's what we'll be doing. Yeah.
yeah.
But I was just thinking here we're in this transition zone because down in that moat is super CO2 rich and acidic. And so as we climb out of there, there's more flushing and this will be less acidic. And the oxygen's coming back because there's less iron. So the iron's not consuming the oxygen, drawing the oxygen down. But we just want to actually keep an eye on when do we see the first not eel.
Yeah.
Not eel?
Yeah.
Fish?
There's lots of eels, that's for sure. And this is all bacteria here that we're looking at?
Yeah.
When do we get to the top of this before you make another move?
There's a little
Yeah,
steep.
I hold any move till we got clear. Progress yet still moving by the effect of the last move.
Yeah, it's pretty steep.
I think we're all right.
Yeah, Argus doesn't look too scary so far.
We gotta hook Alyssa up to a heart rate monitor in case it happens again.
I was calm and collected.
I know.
I think we were more nervous than you were, to be fair.
She did great.
She did great.
Oh, we're losing our visibility.
Yeah,
Well, this is as good as it's been. So,
it's way better than it's been.
Can't see her now.
yeah.
Barely seeing the lights.
So what is all of this that's making the visibility so poor? Is it just schmutz coming from the volcano, or?
Yeah, so it's just bacteria growing here, but we're in sort of a punch bowl, so there's no good way to flush out.
Oh, sure.
This is all coming down slope here.
Yeah, so anything that grows and comes loose comes down the slope, and there's no way to get it out of here. And eventually we'll climb up enough on this inner cone that there'll be a chance for fresh water to get through here and scour this away.
And then when
So you got another move going?
Nope, I will call for another one.
Okay.
Give it 10 meters.
when Okeanos was here
Praise,
last
this
in
is not- can we
2017,
move
it
10
was
meters,
the visibility was too poor to really
couldn't
operate
see
in, right?
anything.
Yeah, they gave up. They didn't. I don't think they've been where we were.
Okay.
They had to basically they dropped down there and then they helicoptered back up
Oh, wow.
and then went to the top of the inner cone because they
Mhm.
got shut down here.
But it's still active, so it probably once in a while will stir up the muck.
Yeah, right. It could be they just could have had a lousy day, bad luck, you know.
So
or-
they found the bubbles in the multibeam?
I don't. Yeah, they saw bubbles. They never found the source. We saw bubbles and found the source. They couldn't last
They
time.
saw bubbles with the ROVs?
No, they
Multibeam.
couldn't. They saw bubbles in the multi. Even tried to go there and couldn't.
Alright.
Got shut down by the visibility.
We saw bubbles?
We saw bubbles,
We saw bubbles
an
on the
hour ago.
multibeam.
Yeah,
Oh.
tiny bubbles.
Ah, speaking of which, I saw they're coming out in August with a cereal called Baby Shark.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
You're making that up.
Nope, saw it today.
What?
Why would
I'm
they
gonna
have
fact
such
check
a
you.
thing?
I think, where did I see that? Either Google News or Gizmodo. Or
Stop. Seriously? I love this headline. Cover your ears. Baby Shark cereal is coming.
Praise, this is Nav. Can we call for another one?
What? Was it really inevitable? I don't know.
Did we lose legs?
What's going on down there? Is a party in the winch
Yeah.
room?
wow. What was that?
Okay.
That was interesting. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
That was weird.
Is the winch still okay?
Seems to be
The
moving
lights
okay.
went.
Ship still has power. The exterior
Yeah,
lights
still.
are on.
Either the camera went nutty, or someone
Um,
started the strobe lights in the winch
Probably
room.
lost the GoPro down there though. What's that thing called? Something
Oh,
alt.
there we go again.
Yeah.
Need a Sparky down
Techno
there.
winch.
That's really weird.
Yeah, well, it's not losing power though, because my GoPro's still on, and once it loses power, it doesn't come back.
You want to talk to the bridge and tell them we have some sort of electrical problem down in the winch room with the lighting?
With the lighting?
I guess it's the lights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
must be.
Praise, this is Nav. Can you speak with the engine room? Tell them we have some electrical issues with the winch room. Something with the lighting, maybe? If they can go and check it out, please. Thank you. Going up.
All right, what is the best thing that you have found this year while you've been on shift? This is only my third leg, but I will say, I think the other day when we kind of summited out at that dive and came into all the coral with the sharks and the tuna. That was probably the coolest thing that I've seen in the 2.5 weeks I've been on. It was super fun.
Yep.
You think so too?
Yep.
Yeah, that was, yeah, you were like a little kid. That was really cool. We saw dogfish tuna, or dog-toothed tuna, all kinds of coral and reef fishes, and what else did we see? Silver-tip shark, reef sharks. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
They checked it out. They said all are good. Which part of it is?
What about you, Ed? What's been your favorite?
Which part of it?
Yep.
They said they were checking out some electrical panels, and the lights in the winch holder on the same panel as the one that they were working on.
Oh.
Yeah. What was the question again?
What's been your favorite thing this year
That
we've spotted?
Oh.
Have you been on more than anyone else in this
This is
band
Nav. Can we have
I
another
have
move,
no
please?
idea.
so far? Yeah. Maybe.
Miles and Rennie and I usually give them a run for their money. I don't know. I really don't know.
So many good ones. That's why.
It's also hard too because there's not really a break between the years for us anymore, so it's hard to differentiate.
They all just sort of run together.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. Chris, is this your first cruise this year?
Yeah, this is my only trip on Nautilus this year.
Gotcha.
But I say that reef thing was pretty cool. You don't
Yeah.
usually see tuna and stuff swimming around.
Yeah, that was
With
super.
ROV, typically we dive too deep for those guys. So it's kind of fun seeing.
Yeah,
Pelagics.
this is more typical.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Rocks.
That was sort of just a bonus.
I've seen this channel before. Anything else on?
What about you, Suna? Do you have a favorite so far?
When we were off of Jarvis Island, we saw a wall covered in blue corals. That was pretty cool.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never seen something like that. And a Dumbo octopus.
And Aspertoothus was in Jarvis too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that wasn't on my watch though.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you think that's a wall or?
Well, this is all wall.
It looks like you might get a steep section coming into Argus sonar, so proceed with the...
We'll wait until you get up.
Due caution.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll not do any move until we clear it from here. Then.
Maybe after the next leg, I'll have a better answer for you.
I sure hope so. All right, I'll write it on the message board.
It won't. It's closed.
What's closed?
The chat next leg.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we're not streaming.
We're not going to stream?
Nope. Closed set.
Huh. Well, that's
Have you
too
been
bad.
telling everybody to tune in?
No, but
Oh, good.
I think they assumed that they would.
What would be scary to find? I think after last night, I could probably say any surprise ledges, right?
I think I might have to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprise terrain that maybe.
A severed 6/8 cable on the deck.
Oh gosh, that.
So
is
Bob, you see on the
terrifying.
left there, there's those blocky chunks,
Yeah.
that more angular stuff. That's the kind of thing, if you could find a
Those
piece.
aren't really dikes, so that's just
No, but it's getting
like
closer. But
sheet flowish.
yeah, but that kind of fractured,
Yeah.
dense stuff. But we'll see if we find one.
So our normal shift schedule is in 4-hour increments. So we do that. This watch, for example, is 8 to 12 in the morning and then 8 to 12 p.m. But sometimes people do longer shifts, just sort of depending on what's going on the ship. So Ed, I think you're here a little bit.
Yeah, so we've been making some
Last leg,
adjustments.
yeah.
Last leg
Last
we were doing 6s.
Yep.
Was that right? And then
Yeah, I think
opened up a little window in the middle.
You weren't doing 6 and 6.
That's brutal. That's
Yeah.
awful. That's horrible.
Yeah, Stephen and I forget how we broke that up.
Oh,
You
I
were
think
doing
you were
six
doing
and six?
5 both.
You had Allison or Sam jump
Yeah.
in.
Yeah,
That's some.
for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then Anthony made it.
Yay.
Yay, Anthony.
But I did, I think it was last year before, I did 8.
Oh wow, 8
Yeah,
in one haul.
8 on, 4 off.
Oh, that sounds pretty rough.
Yeah.
that's even worse.
Some
Yeah.
of the, no, talk about this. Some of the other clients our firm supports, we have one video person on board,
Oh wow.
but they're not operating cameras. The RV crew does that, but we're still staffing and managing. That's a big old rock hanging down.
Yeah, that's
Go pull,
wild.
tug on that.
Yeah, give that a nudge.
Come on.
Come on.
See what happens.
Volcano Jenga.
But it seems like on the Nautilus, we try to kind of stick to those 4 on, 8 off, 4 on, 8 off, which is pretty nice.
So seems
Yeah.
like we should have switched jaws here for this operation.
Yep.
What do you mean? You want to be on video?
No,
No,
not
it's good.
jaws.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, because we're going to, in theory, based on this funnel guide, we're supposed to run into stuff to get. So that's why I kept the coral cutters on, and that's why we've been picking up loose rocks or not busting stuff off.
I would argue that the 8 hours off is a bit of a misnomer.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point.
8 hours not on watch.
Not on watch.
On some of the ships, the mates run a crazy watch schedule. I can't remember how that works with the 6 and then 2.
Oh, Navy watches?
Well, it's like you're on from 6
I think
a.m.
the tether is
Yeah.
going there.
Okay.
You're on from 6 in the morning. No, wait, how does it work?
Yeah. Can we get another move? But what are we doing? 10s?
10, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
No more than 10. Okay, I'm getting you. Bridge this is nav. Another step, please.
Yeah, I think you're on from like 6 till midnight to 6, then you get 2 hours off, then you're on from 8 to 10, and then you're off from 10 to midnight. So the graveyard person gets 14 hours off. And then someone else does 6 in the morning to 8 in the morning, noon till 6, and they have 12 hours off. And then someone else has 10 hours off.
I've gone out on
And
other
the Hui boats run that. So
other
Atlantis runs
expeditions
that
where
with
we
the
work on
mates.
12s. And I kind of like 12s.
What, you just do 12 on, 12 off?
Yep.
Always the same?
Noon to midnight, midnight to noon.
That schedule, I feel like, Chris, I wouldn't be able to keep track of it.
The mates apparently really like it. So
Do
the
they?
Sikuliak does that, the Atlantis does that. Because you get the bigger chunk of time off is what you're after, right?
That's
Yeah, you get a
true.
so you
full
can actually
sleep,
rest.
a full sleep.
Because 8 hours is not enough. Because if you get off, you get down, you're going to get up, eat breakfast,
Max
you're
5.5,
lucky you get 6
sometimes
hours of
6,
sleep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not doing a 12-hour straight
Yeah, you're not.
standing there. Like, that's
Yeah, the
that's
longest
brutal
stretch you
too.
have is 6 hours at
But
one
those-
time. And
12 hours is that's just rough.
Oh,
The
yeah.
ROV teams I go out with that do 12s, everybody's cross-trained, so you just move from seat to seat when you need a break
That's
or
what
whatever.
it's supposed to be.
And there's 3 fully qualified pilots. So there's 1 pilot, 2 manipulators. And so either one of their guys, you can have 1 guy on each manipulator and somebody flying.
But that's not relieving you. That's just
No.
moving seats.
Yeah, yeah. Well, flying is a little more. And it all depends, like if you're doing science work versus ocean engineering.
Sure, yeah.
yeah, the drill ship, they do 12s and 12s, but that's from the science side, but that's a lot of lab work and stuff. And so
What's
it's just
it-
kind of like going to your office for a long day.
Like the JR.
Yeah.
Then you get 12 hours off, but
That's
you're
a
not
lot
sitting in
different
one
than
seat.
sitting
Yeah,
in here,
exactly.
like, staring at a screen for 12
yeah,
hours.
you can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's-
that's a long time.
But the
Yeah.
other thing, when you do 12s and 12s, if you're working out with your cabin mate, when you leave for your 12s, you don't go back to your cabin. You take a backpack with you, and that
Yeah.
way it gives your cabin mate a full. It's like
Doesn't
it's
matter
like
if-
each person has their own cabin.
Yeah.
You know.
No
so,
matter what, you don't go back in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So then it's sort of like each person has their own private cabin.
Yeah.
It's great until you forget something.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it was just Valeria and I in our cabin, it was like having a solo cabin too, because she was on 4 to 8.
In 2014, I was working missions where I
go for
was
another move?
mainly
Yep.
the only
Bridge this
video
snap,
person, or I had
another move,
minimal
10
relief.
meters to
Yeah.
Like
3,
maybe a
5
junior person with me. We're doing 24-hour ops. And I worked a little bit over 2,500 hours that year. I tracked it in 5 months.
Okay, so what's a normal?
2,080 hours in a work year.
Well, that's nice. I mean, at least you kind of like busted it all out in 5 months. So did you get 7 months off, or were you
back
actually?
then, yeah, back then in the good old days,
Yeah.
I did get 7 months off.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Lots
I
of
used to
scuba
get
dives
that,
and a lot
yeah.
of video games and
Yeah.
working around the house, walking the dog, traveling.
So that kind of makes it. I mean, I guess if you have the end in sight, right, and you can be like, all
but
right.
you do a year and a quarter of, but it's pretty easy to knock out because you're doing 14, 16 hours a day, every single day, no holidays, no days off.
You go home and
Yeah,
sleep.
that sounds like a cakewalk.
Yeah, I think I'm just abnormally suited for that.
A little stretched
Being
here.
pulled around a bit.
Yeah. Is the ship making head there?
Yes.
Huh.
Just 10 times.
We're supposed to top out around 700 meters, I think, and we're at 814.
The next one, 800 meters.
Yeah, the tippy top is 7 something, is that right? Might consult my dive plan. 721.
Summer just finished a gig where she was working 12s.
With Jason?
Yep.
Huh.
Jason switched to 12s.
They did?
Yep.
Wow.
For Ocean Observatory maintenance legs.
Oh.
You just, in the middle of building those huge things and taking them apart, you lose a lot of momentum every 4 hours. It ends up being, you know, a 10, 15 minute handoff. And then the new guy wants to hop up and fly around and see what's around him. So, it's, you know, every 4 hours you lose 30 minutes of work. It also takes 33% more bunks
Bridge, this is nav.
to staff 4-hour watches.
Another step, please.
It takes more bunks
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because you have people who are
Yeah.
sleeping at the same time.
So
Or
let's
needing
say you
it.
just take the front row here, right? There's 5 of us.
Sound like
Uh-huh.
a Walmart
So that-
CEO.
Yeah.
That's 15 bunks here for the front row right now. If you were doing 12s, you would only need 10.
Okay.
So
You could have
33%
33% fewer bathrooms.
Yeah.
you would have 2 shifts instead of 3.
Okay. Have you spent
And-
a lot of time doing that math?
This is some of what my firm does for clients.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Yeah.
And the newer vessels have much fewer berths than the old ones used to. And that trend is continuing as we get into the regional class vessels. But the Armstrong, the Sikuliak, and the Ride all have much fewer berths than the Agors did.
What's the regional class vessel? What does that
They're
mean?
the
But they're
NS
smaller boats.
Yeah, smaller
Okay.
boats designed to do work within a specific geographical region, administered by a institution located in that region.
Gotcha.
It's like the University of Washington administers a UNOLS vessel called the Thompson, which has not been home in over 2 years, and it's been around India and Australia and New Zealand, and just got back into Woods Hole. That's a global class vessel.
Actually, I saw that when I was home last.
Pleasure,
It
this
was
is
in
Nav.
port.
Another
Yeah.
move, please.
That's my boat, and that's where I've spent more time probably than even here.
Oh, look at that curly.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
that's a
that
cool
neat?
one.
that's
Yeah.
a Dr. Seuss one there.
Yeah, it reminds me of
Yeah.
the troll under the bridge, kind of.
Or an elephant.
Yeah, the Thompson was in Woods Hole in June. When I was in Woods Hole,
Yeah.
my boat.
Yep.
I drove up. I was like, hey, that's a Thompson. I've been
So
on
that's 274 feet long and 58 feet in beam, 19 feet down, 60 people, endurance of 45 days.
Are you getting that out of memory, or are you
Yeah.
Googling over there?
No,
Yep,
just
yep.
memory.
Very impressive. The Nautilus, by comparison, is 211 feet.
That's 68 meters. Is that 211?
Well,
I think, well, that's what the sticky note in the studio says.
Okay.
but those bigger boats, they feel like a lot more boat because you add boat length to the middle, not the pointy end, so you get
Oh.
a lot more volume of ship.
Oh,
Is
interesting.
that 64 meters?
Yeah, I think it's 64.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'm,
the main lab's
60,
huge.
64.
maybe
Yeah.
I'm putting A-frame. Oh yeah, the main lab on the Agor or on the Thompson could be a bowling alley.
Yeah.
There's enough room for a ping pong table, which is critical.
Oh, that is so much fun.
On a ship? Ping pong?
Yeah, ping pong
Yeah.
table on a weather day on the Thompson.
Super fun.
Hilarious.
Yeah, the Atlantis has a ping pong table. They take pretty seriously.
It's not really. It's just one of the work tables, and we have a net that we can put across it, and actually the surface too.
What?
Yeah.
Sikuliak, we had a ping pong table on one of their mini. They don't have quite a big enough space, but we made a
No.
a 2/3 size ping pong table when
But
we
the
were there.
engine is so quiet on that vessel,
Yeah, Sikuliak is.
and
I
the
like
vibration.
the Sikuliak.
You have no idea they've started the engine.
Well, except for the wicked rolls.
Pleasure, this is Nav. Another
Actually, I was on right after they fixed that.
I've been on the Sikuliak, and it
No,
does
but
roll.
it's icebreaker,
Yeah,
right?
it's,
Ice rated.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that has a big
breaker.
round hull,
yeah,
so
it's
it goes
just
way
wherever
over.
it goes.
They're I
Yeah.
forget who the defense contractor is that put the anti-roll tank on that,
Yeah,
but it was set up the wrong way,
180 degrees wrong.
Oh, no.
so it was accentuating all the rolls.
Nice.
Oh, gosh.
And they fixed it on the port call right before I left on it.
Huh.
I was very grateful for that.
So when I had heard stories about how rolly the Sikuliak was, and when I got there, I was walking around the ship. I had to go talk to. I went to the bridge, you know the incline meter, the glass tube
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the little nip in the one end for
Yep.
the air bubble. I looked at it, and the air bubble was in the little end,
Oh yeah.
which means they recently took a 22.5 degree roll.
What are we
'cause
looking
those gauges usually go to
Suppose we can get that
22.5
by, it's fine,
degrees.
yeah. I wouldn't-
Have you seen the one here
Yeah.
since last year?
No,
Current.
is it in there?
Take a peek, yeah.
Oh.
No, nothing. No, just forget about it. Yeah.
Yeah, they really don't like running that ship beam too. Let's see.
It's pretty clear that the water column community had a lot of say in how that vessel was laid out and put together.
I like it. It's a nice boat to work on.
Yeah, that
So-
CTD bay,
Yeah, it's really nice.
one person to launch and recover.
Is it enclosed?
No, it
It's got
goes
a
to a
big
Baltic
Lars.
door.
Yeah.
And it's got a large that goes out.
Wait, one person to launch and recover?
Yep.
Yeah.
The
They have a
CTD.
Oh, okay.
But it launches outside of, like, from...
A midship almost.
Is it reusable as well?
Yeah,
Yeah?
it's a CTD. It's a large circular rosette of 12 to 18 Niskins with a CTD and other scientific instruments on it. It's on a fairly dumb wire that goes down to the bottom, and they can trigger Niskins and take water samples at depth as well as CTD measurements.
But is it out on deck, or is it
No.
inside the ship?
No, it's inside the ship when
Okay,
it's
and then
recovered.
It launches out
The
goes
side
out
of the
to
ship.
side, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Palmer.
So we actually, for those of you listening and also in the control van, we included the CTD launch on our Instagram takeover today.
The underway CTD.
Yep,
UCTD?
yep.
Yeah.
UCTD.
Yeah,
So
this
that's
it's a little
different
this
than the
thing
one that
is
you're
a
talking about,
giant,
the big
huge
one.
rosette. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a phone booth.
I can show you
Oh,
a
gotcha.
video of one of those seconds before it plummets to the bottom, but you at least get a sense of the size of it.
Yeah, okay, so it's way bigger.
Yeah, it's maybe like,
Oh, well,
yeah,
yeah.
and probably this height of this room.
Oh, geez, that's massive. Okay, so
Yeah.
much different than the one that we
Yeah.
used.
Yeah, because ours doesn't do any water samples or anything. It just measures.
Just measurements.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And it measures salinity and temperature in order to calibrate the sonar systems?
Yeah, it gives us a speed of sound profile through water so that we know how the speed of sound changes as it goes through the different temperature zones. But I'm just the video guy.
Are you like pointing
No
way
idea.
out? or
You've just
something?
heard the
Why am
same
I-
thing over and over and over again
Just-
for enough
I was-
time in your
I was
life.
a parrot in a former life.
The camera?
Why are we at the end of the rope here? It doesn't look like I'm that far out in front.
Tether looks straight out. As near as I could see in my monitor, especially on that last bounce
So
down.
you're pointed out a ways. Is that right?
As a direction?
I'm not.
She's like,
I'm not at the end of the picture, so I'm not seeing why I'm getting yanked, but I can't see the whole thing, you know? You picking up what I'm putting down?
I think so.
Can we do a reset here?
Yeah.
So Suman, can you click out for a second too when you've done that? Oh, how are we doing here? Are we getting to the top of the plateau? I don't
Just give me a second.
think so. There's kind of a...
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Yes, Chris?
Just click out for a second, zoom out. Again. Okay, we're just getting this little bench.
Yep.
So we got a ways to go.
It's from
I'm
here
confused
to-
myself looking at that thing.
It's
Okay.
only
Couple.
380 meters.
Okay, we'll make that fine. Confused myself for a second, which is not hard to do.
I think we're doing good with time. Yeah. Looking at the depth here and in the C2, I think we are almost in this area now.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're kind of definitely it's smoothing out now. If you look at the Argus sonars, all you're seeing is that peppering of basalts or of pillows out there.
It should not be a good place to take a hike, though.
No, not super.
Bridge, this is nav, another step, please.
Yeah.
So would you like to start kind of moving towards the S3?
Yeah, exactly. Just C3, but yeah, just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, just.
What's this white stuff up here?
Could be a little bacteria. White.
You want to zoom
yeah.
in there, Ed?
yeah, coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
I think it's bacteria.
Yeah. I don't see anything active here. I mean, it looks a little red.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see any shimmers.
That's full zoom.
All right. Moving on.
Interesting.
Moving on.
Not that interesting.
Yeah.
Brutally honest.
Well, compared to what we saw before you got here.
Rebecca was just having the time of her
So
life.
our
We could
next
hear it
move
in
will
her
be on
voice.
bearing 195. We'll go more south.
Roger.
How does the south look?
It's a good flow
Should
right
be
there.
flat
Yeah.
for a few
Wow.
meters.
It's crazy to imagine that I was flowing once,
Right?
and then it just froze.
Yeah.
It's like magic shell on top of your ice cream. Flows and freezes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a good analogy.
Always
It is.
reminds me of that, whatever, I think it's like Reese's stuff, whatever the stuff you can put on top of chocolate and it forms a shell.
Yeah, magic shell.
Yeah.
Is that what is it? What's it
Magic
called?
shell?
Magic shell. Yeah, I think that's right.
It is kind of magic.
Like the ones where you dip your ice cream in?
No, it's like you pour it on top and
Oh,
it gets
yeah,
crunchy
yeah.
in there.
Yep.
But they also do dip like
You can
that.
also
I was
dip it
thinking
in.
of the
This is
dip,
that?
yeah.
Thing.
You guys quit talking about food.
And specifically ice cream.
The
Yeah.
next move will be 10 meters on
What
bearing
day is today?
195.
Not even close.
We don't have a
Wednesday.
Sunday this week.
Yeah.
No, we get no
Oh,
Sunday.
robbed the ice
And we're
cream, man.
skipping Sunday.
Holy cow. They got to do ice cream Saturday then.
What day is today? Anyway,
Wednesday?
still
Where?
I
interested.
think it's still Wednesday.
It's
We-
Wednesday here.
We can do one thing. We can, forward the dates by Saturday. So we skip Saturday and we still have Sunday.
There's a thought.
Oh, right. Jump ahead early.
So it's
Yeah, I guess
Sunday
Pavel
the
could do that. He can
4th?
set the ship's time to Sunday just to get ice cream. And then set it back.
Right.
So just
Saturday.
keep one day
Saturday at
out.
5.
We have 1 hour of Sunday.
Was it number 135? Is that what you said? The heading?
Yeah, 195.
Oh, 195.
Looks like some kind of a root system for some
Yeah.
weird plant.
Root of a big tree.
Yeah. Fig tree roots or something.
Now I want figs.
What do they call those? Oh,
All right, guys, here's a tough question.
strangler figs or something?
Do you ever get bored with your job?
Never.
Never?
Well, were they watching last night's watch?
I kind of
First half of it was kind of
jealous at
eye-peeling.
times of people who do that.
I mean,
Not really.
yeah, there are times when it's not that interesting, but I guess there's always kind of this what if component, right? Like we could still come up with something
This is
super
not
cool.
another step.
Yeah, you
10
never know
meters
what's
on
right
that
around the corner, right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be rocks.
I thought I was
he
dark.
knows.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Just a realist over here.
They call me dark.
What did you see the other day, Suna? It was so great. You're like, can you zoom in on the nothing to confirm
Yeah.
It's not
the
there.
non-existence of something or something? It's like so esoteric.
Bob's line last night was so good, I actually pulled it out
Oh
and
my
saved
goodness,
it.
did you really?
Yeah,
Oh.
classic.
Yep.
I think next time we go down, I might try and manually white balance the 4K camera.
Do you have to white balance it?
I've been keeping it in auto because it's controlled by an Xbox controller, which is a slightly different interface than what we use for our other cameras.
So has the down cam been pretty much out,
I think so.
Ed?
Me? I don't know.
Right,
I
this is
have
nav.
a different
And then
device
move,
I can
please.
put that through, but it sounded like it was a known issue, so I didn't even try.
Well, it's not really a known issue because when I was in there, it wasn't broke. So you can't fix something that ain't broke.
Well, let me see if I can get a different device to process it.
That's my guess, is that the cable's intermittent. Right?
Yeah, I can't fix that.
Because as soon as I got in there to do something about it, it started working,
and
I couldn't make it break. So.
Is it on IP or not? I'm guessing not.
No, that is not. That's one of the...
I could always scope it over at rack 1 too. Actually, hold on, I could scope it here. Give the